Hey y'all, what you doing? Nothing? Okay, good. Welcome to Domestic Detective, where we talk true crime and clean my house. And my kitchen desperately needs it, so let's go. Today, we are going to be talking about Libby Caswell out of Independence, Missouri. This is my hometown. This is a close case to me. I wanted to start by saying, everybody, these videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only. I really encourage you to do your own research. I encourage you to form your own opinions. And I also want you to remember that I'm just a lady with some degrees, some kids, and a love for true crime that dates back to childhood. My bachelor degree is in criminal justice with an emphasis on crime scene investigation. I graduated with a 3.78 GPA. I'm super proud of this feat. If you are a mom in school, you know exactly what I'm talking about, honey. You got this. I also am wrapping up on a master's in forensic psychology, and I will be going through with a doctorate in forensic anthropology. I don't know if you've seen Bones, but I'm trying to be her. There's a certain kind of clarity that comes from doing the dishes. But lately, no matter how much I clean, I can't stop thinking about a case that feels incredibly unclean. I'm talking about Libby Caswell. She was a 21-year-old mother who was found in a motel room in Independence, Missouri back in 2017. The police ruled it a self-inflicted tragedy within just hours. But if you just take a glance at the Justice for Libby Facebook page, you'll see why her family and thousands of others believe this case was closed far too soon. Forensic experts, including the Alliance for Hope, spent 4 years reviewing Libby's file. They concluded that Libby was murdered. They pointed out signs of a struggle that weren't properly documented and a scene that looked staged. The Independence Police Department, however, has stood by their initial ruling. But there's a pattern here. Libby's family and friends have been vocal about the mistreatment of the case, from evidence not being collected to a lack of witness interviews. Even the medical examiner's report lists the manner of death as undetermined. So if the science isn't certain, why was the investigation stopped? We have to talk about the person she was with. Libby's boyfriend at the time has a significant criminal record and a documented history of violence. In fact, a witness saw him with his hands around her neck 1 week before her death. The most frustrating part, Livy's mother had called for help. She called for help so many times, the city actually cited her under a nuisance law. They treated a mother trying to save her daughter as a nuisance rather than a priority. This is just a heartbreaking example that failed a woman when she needed it the most, a family when they needed it the most. For years, her family and the Justice for Libby page have said the timeline didn't make sense, and just recently, a witness came forward to prove them right. This witness claims that Libby's boyfriend's father knew she was deceased as early as 7 o'clock in the morning on December 11th. He was reportedly getting his other kids ready for school when he got the news. Here's the problem. The boyfriend didn't call 911 until 8 o'clock that night. The boyfriend told Independence police that he had been asleep all day and only found her that evening. If this witness is correct, that's a 12-hour gap where he knew Libby was gone and said nothing. Why would someone wait 12 hours to call for help? And why didn't the IPD find this out sooner? Forensic experts from the Alliance for Hope already concluded that the scene looked staged. Now we have a witness whose story suggests there was more than enough time to do exactly that. The Jackson County Prosecutor's Office says there isn't enough evidence to charge anyone. But with this new witness testimony and the expert forensic reviews calling this a homicide, the pressure is mounting. The Justice for Libby Facebook page is where the family has been organizing. They aren't just looking for an apology. They want a brand new independent investigation because that's what they deserve. Because a 12-hour silence isn't an accident, it's a cover-up. Let's keep sharing Libby's name until someone is held accountable. Statistically speaking, in 2024, an estimated 50,000 women and girls' lives were taken globally by their intimate partners or family members. This is per the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. What we really need to talk about is the fact that the true scale of this problem is likely much higher. Many killings are not identified. As I finish up here, I want to take a moment to step away from the evidence and the timelines. At the end of the day, Libby wasn't just a headline. She wasn't just a case file. She was a daughter who was deeply loved. She was a mother whose life was cut short, leaving behind a child who has to grow up hearing a story that doesn't make sense. We talk about these cases because we want justice, but we also have to remember the weight the family carries every single day. Cindy and the rest of Libby's family have had to become investigators just to get the truth heard. They deserve the peace of knowing what really happened in that room. Libby deserved to grow old. She deserved a system that protected her while she was here, and she deserves a community that won't forget her now that she's gone. Please head over to the Justice for Libby page. Leave a word of support for the family and help us keep her memory alive. Because justice for Libby isn't just about a ruling, it's about the respect that she's owed as a human being. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for being here today and watching this. Drop any more suggestions you might have for cases we could talk about in the future. Okay, love you guys. Bye.